An English novelist known for her works of romantic fiction, including Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Emma. Yes, she is no more than Jane Austen. She was born in 1775, Steventon, Hampshire, England, to a clergyman father and a mother from a higher social class. Austen was one of 8 siblings and was primarily educated at home by her father. Her family was well educated and encouraged her love of literature. She began writing at young age, and her early works included short stories, poems, and plays. Despite her success as a writer, Austen published her novels anonymously during her lifetime. Her famous works include Sense and Sensibility, followed by Pride and Prejudice in 1830. Austen never married and lived with her family for most of her life. She died at the age of 41.
The age of Jane Austen, often referred to as the Romantic period. It was a time of great change and upheaval in English literature. It was heavily influenced by the French Revolution, a monumental event that sparked social and political transformations. Social issues took center stage during this era. Writers delved deep into the human conditions, highlighting the struggles and injustices faced by society. One of the defining characteristics of Romantic period was the celebration of nature. Romantics reveled in the beauty and the power of the natural world, often finding inspiration within its realms. The Romantics rejected and objectified the social norms and conventions of their time. They sought to challenge the rigid structures of society, advocating for individualism and personal freedom. The age of Jane Austen also witnessed a revolt against industrialization. Many writers of English literature believed that industrialization was responsible for the destruction of nature. Lastly, the age of Jane Austen was a period of reformation and revolution. It was a time when society yearned for a change and progress. And here you have it, the age of Jane Austen, encapsulated in all its glory. An era defined by the emphasis on emotion, individualism, imagination, and the celebration of nature.
Jane Austen, a name that resonates through the annals of English literature, is hailed as one of the greatest writers of her time. Her novels, known for their wit, social commentary, and intricate characterizations, have left an indelible mark on the literary landscape. Austen's works are often associated with the Romantic Age, a period marked by passion, idealism, and exploration of emotions. Austen, in her role as a writer, was a keen observer of society. Her novels like Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility presented a realistic portrayal of the challenges faced by women in their search of suitable partners and the importance of financial security. Through her writing, she became a social commentator, challenging the illogical beliefs and trends of her society. Her emphasis on emotion and feeling added a layer of depth to her novels. Through her skillful use of dialogue, she elegantly portrayed the inner sentiments and struggles of her characters. In her novel Pride and Prejudice, she wrote, "We all know him to be a proud, unpleasant sort of man, but this would be nothing if you really liked him." Individualism, one of the most important attributes of Romantic Age. Jane Austen uses this attribute in most of his literary work. She evokes the sense of giving importance to yourself and knowing your worth. She believes in not becoming a follower, rather she encourages the trend setting. She used this individualism quote in most of his writing. One of the best example is, "I could easily forgive his pride if he had not modified mine." This line is taken from the most famous novel of Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, which is spoken by Elizabeth Bennet. Feminist. One way in which Austen can be seen as feminist is through her portrayal of strong, intelligent female character. Her heroines such as Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice and Emma Woodhouse in Emma are independent thinkers who challenges the gender role and expectations of their time. They are often shown to be more capable and prescriptive than the man around them, and they are not afraid to speak their mind. Main character of Emma said, I hate to hear you talk about all women as if they were fine ladies instead of rational creatures. Taking the name of Jane Austen immediately reflects the name of a famous novel of all time, Pride and Prejudice. In Pride and Prejudice, Austen explores the emotional lives of her character in depth. The novel is centered around the love story between Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, and their feelings and emotions are a driving force in the plot. While Pride and Prejudice is not a novel that is particularly concerned with nature, there are still some moments in the novel that suggest an appreciation for the natural world. For instance, Elizabeth enjoys walking in the countryside and finds solace in the nature when she is upset. This novel is often characterized as a novel which is based on individualism and rejects all the social norms of a society. A strong character of Elizabeth Bennet is seen doing all this thing as she refused the concept of marriage as financial stability of women rather in a hidden way. She supported independence of women. She also questions the classification of class in a society.